A little more information on ESD and why it's important when you're working on electronics. This is an ESD mat. It's a conductive vinyl. It's not super conductive. Some ohmmeters you can measure some resistance on here. It's connected to ground through usually a 1 megohm resistor. You don't want it tied directly to ground. And what happens is you'll find guys using ESD straps. They'll tie it to their ankle and they figure they're ESD protected about static discharge into your components. And I can tell you that doesn't work, because the reason they call it static is because it doesn't like to move. That's why they call it static. So the easiest and safest thing to do is have a bench that's all set up. Yes, my bench is an absolute disaster. I'm in the middle of a big project, but everything that touches this mat is ESD discharged. Now, if I go rolling around my chair, walking around the house, I'm now charged. This shirt that I'm wearing can easily develop 5,000 volts. Yes, you know how I know that? Because I borrowed an ESD meter for a long time, and I'm telling you, it's shocking, how much voltage you can develop on yourself, and then you go and touch components on your board, and you put that stuff right into your radio or whatever you're working on. So having ESD protection is a big deal. In professional circles, if you are doing, say, medical or military work and you don't have this on your bench, you can be disqualified for the contract you're on, for instance. This is a big deal. This causes field failures like you cannot believe if you don't have it. So all the soldering equipment is grounded by design, and this is grounded by design. It's not that expensive. You roll it out, and you can wipe it down with 409 every now and then. It's just a piece of cake. The stuff lasts forever. This one is new because I can't find my old one. It's in a box somewhere, and I do mean buried somewhere. So I put this in about 1.5 years ago, and it works fantastically. If somebody ever says to you, yeah, that's a bunch of crap, they've never owned or borrowed an ESD meter to measure this for themselves. You just sit it here. It's a meter that's even smaller than your basic fluke, and you can just sit it there and you can watch the needle. Every time you come near it, the needle will start cranking up, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,000 volts. Thousands of volts. This is not bullshit. This is quite real. So what I did was I would sit the meter here, like if this was the ESD meter, I'd sit it right there. You hear my chair rolling on the ground, I'd roll up to it with my hand like this, and that needle would just start going like that. So now I'm fully charged, right? Now what happens to that? Where does that voltage want to go? Well, anything that's lower potential, like anything else. So you go up to it, pow, and you've discharged it into your radio. Or worse, your customer's radio. Having ESD protection is a big freaking deal. Until you've been in the industry, the professional industries long enough, and you've seen the failure rates because somebody didn't buy into the whole ESD thing, you find out the hard way. You can lose your job over it. Because you'll fix one problem, you'll ship the item out and something else will fail, and then something else will fail. It's a chain of failures. And as soon as everything's grounded, suddenly all that stops. So I'm telling you, it's real. And almost nobody that does electronics has ever touched an ESD meter. Well, I spent a long time with one because I thought a long time ago it was bullshit too. It's not. I can develop 5,000 volts on my body easily. One of the things that we proved is, some labs you have to wear smocks and stuff. You can charge up your shirt underneath a smock, a static smock. You can have 5,000 volts here and almost 0 volts on the smock. So if you happen to open it up or brush up against something, pow, you've discharged all that voltage. You ruin crap. You may not ruin it today, but you've weakened it for tomorrow. That's guaranteed. Guaranteed. So anybody that ever gives you crap about ESD, ask them how many ESD meters they own. The answer will be 0. They're once you've gone through that whole process, you'll never go back. Plus, it's nice and comfortable to have a mat on here. All your stuff just sits there because it's kind of got a nice grip to it. It doesn't roll away. I've really enjoyed it. I like this material a lot. Even my other bench where I mostly just stack shit, it's all ESD, 100% ESD everywhere. This also happens to be an RF bench, which doesn't make it ESD, but it's a lot better for doing RF work because there's no metal under here. The only metal is clear far away on the brackets and stuff like that. These were RF benches from Motorola when I worked there. And you just get, you know, when you don't have anything around your radio equipment, you get a little bit more accuracy. Mostly for this stuff, it's probably all right to not have it. But when we were doing RFID, this was absolute mush. Couldn't do without it. So I'm glad I have them. You know, they make very solid benches. So anyway, the whole ESD thing, it matters a lot. And if you are in any doubt, find somebody with an ESD meter and borrow it for a week. It will shock you. God, what a horrible pun. But it will. It'll surprise the heck out of you. Anyway, that's it for now. See you, bye.